Comics Recapped here. Today, I'll be explaining a comic called The Green Lantern. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Our story starts with Lantern Tox battling against an arachnid. The arachnid was able to bite Tox's finger off, allowing her to escape. But Tox told her that she was already infected with the flusal phlegm. She kept sneezing and was captured. Tox contacted the Guardians, telling them the robbers were apprehended. He went on to investigate the crime further. Unfortunately, Tox was attacked from behind, rendering him unconscious. Controller Mu stole one luck dial, and the other was in the possession of Lantern Chrysalin. The luck dial was mishandled by a criminal Chrysalin was transporting. This made their ship short-circuit and go down. On Earth, Hal Jordan was approached by a man. Suspiciously, the man spoke differently, and 3 more men surrounded him. Hal attacked the man in front of him as he had determined they weren't humans. The aliens ganged up on him, but Hal was stronger, and he completely overpowered them. Hal saw smoke from afar. He approached and saw it was a ship with an injured Chrysalin inside. Hal offered to help him, but Chrysalin told him to capture the 3 criminals who had escaped during the crash. Hal agreed. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. The criminals were on a rampage when Hal appeared and made easy work of them. He placed them inside a canister and captured them. Hal went to their headquarters at the new OA. A guardian pulled Hal aside to talk to him privately. He told Hal that the criminals were part of a group that was smuggling lethal cargo and that there was a traitor among them. Meanwhile, inside Mu's BlackStar headquarters, they were extracting the heart of a weaponeer to gain antimatter. The BlackStars then invaded Evil Star's prison. They ganged up on the Lantern Rotlop fan and took Evil Star away before the Lantern's backup could arrive. In OA, Hal was interrogating the arachnid along with Lantern True. The arachnid told them she was hungry but would not tell them what she knew. Hal offered her food, which made her talk. She said the casino heist was a diversion to smuggle the first component. In the BlackStar flagship, Evil Star was celebrating his freedom when Countess Belzebeth appeared and told him they only helped him in escaping to get his star banned. She then attacked Evil Star, draining his life out of him. Later, Controller Mu was pitching his retro-engineered starband to the Dorians. He offered them protection in their business for a reasonable price. The Dorians hesitated but took Mu's offer. Elsewhere, Hal was traveling back to Earth when, to his dismay, Earth was gone. Volgar Zo of Dor hosted an auction. On sale in this auction was the planet Earth. He told the audience about the benefits of buying Earth. The price went higher until a bid worth 10,000 from the Shepherd sealed the deal. Meanwhile, Hal and the Lanterns were in position to raid the illegal auction. Once the sale was made, they sprung into action and chaos ensued. Surprisingly, there were mercenaries wielding starbands defending the Dorians. They knew the Lanterns were coming. Someone set them up. Hal entered the Shepherd's ship. The Shepherd insisted that he was rescuing Earth's inhabitants and taking them to a sanctuary where they would live in paradise. Hal reiterated that Earth wasn't for sale. He tried showing the humans that the Shepherd was actually a planet eater, and his true form was that of a giant grotesque alien. But they didn't listen. Hal decided to take action by punching the Shepherd and immobilizing his ship. The other Lanterns also captured the other mercenaries. Hal took a closer look at the captives they rescued. They were poisoned with toxins, making them look older and weak. Hal was enraged and fired large nails towards Volgar Zo, instantly killing him. A BlackStar soldier told the man about how the Countess warned the royal family of Warwim that the Sun Eater was approaching and they had failed to meet the demands. She taught them how to survive in the dark by taking advantage of the less fortunate of their race. The royal family led her to a vault containing the cargo smuggled in the casino heist. The man was intrigued and wanted to become a BlackStar. Unfortunately, the soldiers didn't trust him yet, so the man told her how he had information about the Lanterns. He told her the story about how 3 Lanterns were called when Sun Eaters crossed into their sectors. Lantern Taggart tried attacking the Sun Eater using his ring. The Sun Eater quickly drained his ring's energy. Taggart was sinking, his ring power level getting dangerously low when Hal successfully grabbed and pulled him out of the Sun Eater. They then confronted Crassius, who was the one who smuggled the Sun Eaters. Hal found out that the Sun Eater was pregnant and was about to spawn. When the Sun Eater does spawn, it would want to eat, which gave Hal the idea to create an artificial sun using their rings and lure the Sun Eater toward it. They used every energy their ring had and drained it. Their willpower allowed them to push far and beyond the power their ring could offer. The power they displayed was seen far and wide, which allowed Hyperia 3 to appear and capture the Sun Eater. The man continued his story, saying Hal was apprehended by the Guardians for his actions in killing Volgar Zo. He was suspended and banished. He asked again if he could join the BlackStars. The soldier told him that she already knew who he was, Green Lantern Hal Jordan. The soldier also revealed her identity, which was Countess Belzebeth. They made their way to Vor, the planet of the vampires, where Hal must endure a test to become a BlackStar. Belzebeth told him that he must reach 3 checkpoints to complete his BlackStar mantle if he hopes to survive. Hal began and traversed through the sunken quarter. It smelled awful, and Hal battled through the miasma. He found himself inside a church where he located the BlackStar visor. Hal put it on and immediately saw hordes of monsters surrounding him. He fought it off and proceeded to find his next item, the gauntlets. Hal fought the monsters while searching for it, until he realized the cuffs he had weren't cuffs and were actually the gauntlets. Hal charged through the monsters. He only had the mantle to search for. The watch maggot appeared and the mantle behind it. The problem was that Beelzebeth was wearing it. Hal tried powering through it but couldn't. He ultimately asked for Beelzebeth's help to achieve his task. He passed. Beelzebeth told him that as a BlackStar, he needed to rely on others and sacrifice his ego. The week before, when the Guardian was talking to Hal, he asked him to go undercover by becoming a BlackStar to infiltrate them and neutralize Mu. He told Hal to act recklessly so even the other Lanterns won't suspect his mission. Hal accepted. Back in Vor, Hal was known as BlackStar Parallax, and they made their way to Ran. Beelzebeth told Hal he had a mission to fulfill before meeting with Mu, to kill Adam Strange. Adam was shocked. Hal told Beelzebeth he wouldn't fight an unarmed opponent. Beelzebeth agreed and will make them fight in a fair contest. Later, Hal and Adam were standing back to back. In attendance were the inhabitants of Ran, along with Mu and Alana, Adam's wife. Beelzebeth announced that Hal and Adam would walk 10 steps and turn to shoot their opponent. The two made their steps and shot their guns. A bullet scraped Hal, while Adam's was a direct hit. Alana was devastated and ran toward Adam. Beelzebeth approached Hal, saying he had earned an audience with Mu. After a while, Mu welcomed Jordan. Hal's ring was the 4th out of the 5 components of Mu's ultimate asset. Mu asked Hal why his ring was resisting and booby-trapped. Hal said the Guardian's technology was tricky. Mu told him that he knew Hal was just pretending to be a BlackStar. He could sense it. Meanwhile, Adam woke up. Hal only put him in a coma. Alana told Adam that Mu had their daughter, Aliyah. Elsewhere, Mu told Hal that he should follow him. That in his world, everybody is equal, making a united community. Mu showed him the U-bomb, a bomb when detonated would kill them all. Suddenly, Adam and Alana appeared. Alana shot Mu in the head and they reunited with Aliyah. Unfortunately, the U-bomb was getting ready to explode. The Guardians noticed this and gave Hal all the power in their battery reserves to defuse it. Hal used this ring and he let out a scream. Suddenly, he vanished. Later on, Hal found himself on a run-down green land. He kept thinking he had an important thing to do but couldn't remember it. Hal asked the weird-looking man for directions. The man told him the only exit was through the Emerald Sand, and if anyone asks who sent him, say Mirwiden. While Hal was traveling, he met a woman named Penguir. She told him only to whisper as Mirwiden must not awaken. Penguir led Hal to the ruins. He stopped at a wall, then said they had reached the Emerald Sands. Hal suddenly remembered everything and realized they were inside his ring. He told Penguir that Mirwiden was an alien imprisoned in his ring and that she was his power ring. Suddenly, aliens started attacking Hal and Penguir. The situation was grim as Penguir's energy was fading until nothing was left. The ring was dead. Luckily, 2 lanterns found the ring and grabbed it. The ring was replenished, and after a short while, Hal Jordan was back. In Hadea Maxima, Brotor was planning to execute Glory Gold for taking all the customers in the illegal substance industry. Meanwhile, on Earth, Green Arrow infiltrated a transaction of illegal substances. Along with Hal, Ollie beat up the illegal salesman and tied up the buyer. When the fight was over and they took a look at the buyer, they noticed that the buyer was dead. Hal was able to find out people were selling their souls to get high off the new substance. Hal and Ollie were patrolling the city when they saw a large green arrow. They came closer to investigate and overheard a conversation wherein the new substance was being loaded for shipment by an unknown assailant. Shortly after, they saw a large Ollie lying on the ground. Its name was Scene Lantern, and he was dying. Scene said that Glory Gold was behind everything. Suddenly, Glory Gold confronted them and sent his sirens to mess with their minds. It made Ollie and Hal fight against each other. They regained their senses and detected an assassin targeting them from space. Hal formed a large bow and arrow while Ollie aimed its trajectory. They shot the arrow, hitting the assassin and subduing him. Hal and Ollie captured Glory Gold and said their goodbyes to each other as Hal had to return to space. Meanwhile, members of the Superwatch were beaten by an unknown enemy. Marta and Superwoman were attacked as well. In their headquarters, the other members were trying to find a solution to beat the unknown entity as planets and antimatter colonies started disappearing. Elsewhere, in planet Athmura, Hal was trying to confront Aban Nazur. Accompanied by Samandra and Fek, they were able to sneak toward the Citadel. Hal needed to climb to the tip of the citadel, but his ring, unfortunately, didn't function on this planet. He instead rode a dragon which carried him to the top. Hal's dragon exploded, and Nazur appeared. Hal tried to defend himself, but fighting without a ring was too difficult. He was losing, but he got a clue when his power ring said that Nazur's ring spoke Orangan. Hal realized that this alien was actually a lantern named Abin Sur, the former Green Lantern of Earth. He grabbed Abin Sur and punched him in the chin, resulting in his necklace breaking. Hal captured Abin Sur. The necklace was actually the one causing him to go violent. Abin Sur told Hal that lanterns of Earth across different dimensions were all gathering since Qwa-Man had risen. Suddenly, Qwa-Man appeared, and both were imprisoned in ice crystals. Suddenly, lanterns of Earth appeared out of nowhere. They had been summoned 2 days ago by their respective guardians to work together in intercepting a threat. Bat Lantern tied Qwa-Man with a rope, while Flashlight freed Hal and Abin Sur. They then brought the fight to a dimension between universes. Qwa-Man was being held down by Flashlight, but was still able to fire an attack at Hal. All other lanterns ganged up on Qwa-Man and finally beat him. The lanterns proceeded to planet Ugu to concoct a plan. The lanterns held a meeting discussing how other Earth's lanterns went missing when they went to Earth 15, the rumored location of the Cosmic Grail. Their mission was to go there, investigate, and retrieve their comrades. Elsewhere, Hal and the others arrived at Earth 15, where everything was destroyed. The Green Lantern of Earth 9 used her powers to raise the corpses of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to ask them what happened. The corpses told them to leave. Suddenly, she was attacked by Zundernel, the Golden Lantern. The lanterns were startled as Zundernel broke the lanterns of Earth 9's Green Lantern, making her age rapidly. He apologized, saying he attacked because he saw corpses. Hal told him they were searching for their comrades. Zundernel told Hal to follow him. While walking, Zundernel talked on how he kept seeking warriors to fight with him when the multi-crisis came and the Cosmic Grail awakened. Flashlight found a room and Zundernel zapped them immediately. Hal woke up and saw Star Sapphire Carol. Elsewhere, on planet Werewim, 4 lanterns investigated the area. When they scoured the catacombs, they found traces of antimatter. Suddenly, Sinestro appeared and told them Qwa-Man was on his way back. They would all die. Meanwhile, in Universe Zero, Hal Carr, along with other Green Lanterns, were investigating the site where the superhumans were beaten. Shockingly, they saw Superwoman dangling by her cape and was being held by the entity. The lanterns were ready to attack. The Titan suddenly spoke, saying he meant no harm, and he was a border patrol sent to find Sinestro and Qwa-Man. On planet Ugo, the lanterns had felt an unstoppable rage trying to claw its way from darkness into light. Elsewhere, on Earth 15, Carol told Hal that they would be using love to beat Zundernal. They went inside his lair where they found their comrades inside contraptions. They confronted him, and Zundernal told them their comrades were sleeping and waiting for their time when they are needed. Suddenly, a hypnotized Bat Lantern, Flashlight, and their other comrades surrounded them. Carol quickly transformed into Zundernal's former squire. Zundernal got on his knees and asked for forgiveness. With the distraction, the lanterns on planet Ugo appeared and attacked Zundernal, arresting him. The Green Lanterns came out of Earth 15 victorious, but unfortunately, on planet Werewim, Qwa-Man was on a rampage. Hal sensed the troubles on Werewim and immediately changed course, and despite his ring telling him he had only 15 minutes to live. In Werewim, all except Lantern True were dead. Qwa-Man was too strong. True attacked, seeking revenge, but Qwa-Man toppled her. Luckily, Hal arrived and hit Qwa-Man in the gut. More backup was on the way, but they had to buy time. The Guardians contacted Hal, telling him to go all out in stopping Qwa-Man. Hal obliged, using every bit of power he had. Qwa-Man was strong, but Hal got unexpected help from Sinestro. Qwa-Man was electrocuted, and Sinestro told Hal that he was from the anti-universe, the opposite of the Sinestro that Hal knew. He told him that Qwa-Man was his target, and that the Qwa-Masters would pay him handsomely if he could get him back. More than what the BlackStars paid him to bring Qwa-Man here. While they were talking, Sinestro was zapped from behind by Qwa-Man. Hal leaped into action and grabbed the enemy. He used all his might and, along with True, attacked Qwa-Man. But the enemy was powerful and counterattacked. Suddenly, 2 rods pierced Qwa-Man, pinning him on the wall. Lantern Hawks had arrived and escorted True away from the battlefield. Hal was relentless and continued pounding on Qwa-Man until he was restrained by other lanterns that had just arrived, saying it was over. Out of nowhere, Qwa-Man let out an attack hitting Chrysalin. Hal was shocked as Chrysalin transformed into Blackstar Durlan. She was the informant, the traitor. The Superwatch arrived and told them the situation was under control since they brought the Anti-Universe's border patrol to intercept Qwa-Man. They were wrong. Sinestro gained consciousness and told them that it was Qwa-Master, an ally of Qwa-Man. Sinestro was attacked, and Hal was suddenly teleported into a BlackStar ship. He told them to send him back, but the BlackStars told him that Mu had everything under control and that he only had 4 minutes of life remaining. Mu walked with Hal, telling him he had completed his ultimate asset. The 5 components were present: the lock dial, the starband, an antimatter battery, a Green Lantern ring, and the final component, Hal Jordan himself. Mu said it was called Miracle Machine, with which a solitary wish will be granted and can change the universe. Mu told Hal the antimatter war would destroy everything unless he wished for Controller Mu's wish. Meanwhile, in the antimatter universe, Qwa-Man was being reconstructed, and their guardians planned for Qwa-Man to return. But this time, he wouldn't be alone.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.